What makes the Flower Feather Clan's music sound as light as a feather? I believe it has everything to do with our first encounter with a wingless named Koyer during Chasca's story quest. Remember this scene?
Huh? That sounded like a whistle. Is someone else trying to summon a Kukusor?
Stick around, we're about to explore how this connects to the soundtrack. Welcome to the 5th video in my series of thematic music analysis of each nation in Tibet. If you're new here, I'm LMU and I'm a music composer for film, TV, and games. If you missed my other videos about my music analysis on the other tribe's soundtrack, feel free to check it out on my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Flower Feather Clan soundtrack and how it works with the story. We are going to focus on the following tracks. Now let's get started. Looking at the tribe's aesthetic and location, it comes to no surprise that the soundtrack is inspired by Western/cowboy and country music. A lot of the instrumentation was centered on instruments you are probably already familiar with: the banjo, harmonica, drums, tin whistle, fiddle or strings, and acoustic guitar. If you're not familiar with some of them, let's take a moment to define these instruments. First up, we have the banjo. Known for its bright twangy sound, the banjo brings a fast rhythmic drive that's iconic in bluegrass and traditional country. You can hear this instrument at the All the Pretty Courses track. Next, we have harmonica, which is a pocket-sized wind instrument that adds a soulful, sometimes bluesy feel, great for evoking open plains or dusty roads. You can hear this at the Salute of Eagles track. Next is the tin whistle. Though more common in folk or Celtic music, its airy tone adds a light pastoral feel when used in country-inspired tracks. Tin whistles come in all shapes and sizes, so their sounds vary. You can listen an example of this instrument at the Salute of Eagles track. Next is the melodica. It is a small portable keyboard instrument that you play by blowing air through a mouthpiece, producing a sound somewhere between a harmonica and an accordion. You can listen to this instrument at the Idle Hours track. Next, we have the pan flute. The pan flute is a traditional wind instrument made of multiple pipes of gradually increasing length, typically arranged in a row and played by blowing across their open tops. You can listen to this instrument at the Feathered Moonlight track. The Flower Feather Clan soundtrack placed a lot of emphasis on wind instruments from Western music, particularly ones that produce sound through breath of air flow, such as the harmonica, melodica, and tin whistle. The prominence of wind instruments creates the very light, laid-back, and soaring vibe of the soundtrack. In addition to that, the tracks feature minimal instrumentation with strings that complement the wind instruments. The tracks include a lot of acoustic elements such as acoustic guitar and strings, which makes the overall instrumentation very light. This leads me back to the scene I showed you earlier. How does this scene encapsulate the Flower Feather Clan soundtrack? The answer lies in one word: whistling. In the Flower Feather Clan story quest, Chasca explained the clan's relationship with the Cuckosaurs. She said, "People from my tribe call to their Saurian companions by whistling or blowing a horn. It sounds like Hoyoverse was trying to summon a Cuckosaur to practice their flying." This whistling marks the beginning of a warrior's bond with a Cuckosaur. First, learning to summon one, then eventually flying alongside their companion. Then eventually create a strong bond with their Cuckosaur companion. That's what the warriors of the Flower Feather Clan is all about. We can hear this whistling, symbolizing the Flower Feather Clan's daily life with their Cuckosaurs in one of their main soundtrack themes, All the Pretty Courses. The track begins with whistling and gradually evolves into a sound that feels adventurous and full of exploration. It's the perfect track to play that encapsulates one's flight with their Cuckosaur. The recurring whistling motif captures the everyday rhythm of the Flower Feather Clan's life alongside with their Cuckosaurs. Now let's take a moment to define the genres that inspired this soundtrack. First up, we have country. Country music is rooted in folk traditions and is known for its acoustic instruments, emotional melodies, and themes of home, nature, and personal journeys. It often features instruments like banjo, fiddle, pedal steel guitar, and harmonica to create a warm, earthy atmosphere. Tracks inspired by this soundtrack include Salute of Eagles, Feathered Moonlight, and All the Pretty Courses. Note that Salute of Eagles and Feathered Moonlight are country orchestral hybrid tracks. Aside from using common instruments heard in Western or country music, it's considered a hybrid due to the additional orchestral instruments such as the strings, which make the track more cinematic. Next is blues. Blues music is a genre defined by its soulful melodies, expressive bends, and call and response patterns, often evoking emotion, reflection, or longing. In the context of this soundtrack, it adds a slower, more intimate energy with characteristic guitar slides and harmonica-like textures. This track is composed of the standard 12-bar blues progression, which is a set of chord patterns that repeat over 12 measures. Tracks inspired by this genre include Idle Hours. That is it for today. Let me know what your thoughts are about the soundtrack. Personally, I wish there were more instances where these motifs were used in the story quest to create a more cohesive sound, but this still works. What are your current thoughts about the soundtrack? Do you like the unique fusion of these instruments? If you would like more music analysis content or a music composer's perspective or reaction on your favorite Hoyoverse tracks, feel free to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!